Sino ba ang tunay na baliw? Yung bang isinilang sa pag-iisip ay kapos? O husto ang isip, ngunit sakim naman na lubos?
Akala nyo ba ay mapapatahimik nyo si Kong Barsaga sa pagpuna sa katiwalaan ng gobyerno kung siya ay tatanggalin ninyo bilang kinatawan ng Dasmariñas City? Alam nyo naman na hindi.
With 265 members voting in the affirmative, 14 in the negative, and 8 abstentions, the findings and recommendations contained in Committee Report number 298 are hereby adopted.
Madam Chair, point of
Representative
order.
Barsaga is hereby notified of the action taken by the House on Committee Report number 298. Majority
Speaker.
Leader.
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
Majority Leader.
I move to recognize Representative Marcelino C. Libanan, Minority Floor Leader.
Madam Speaker, Mr. Majority Floor Leader, a point of
Majority
order is
Leader.
the second highest
Majority Leader.
Motion to suspend.
Session
motion.
suspended.
So, I may not agree with what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it.
This House has made a huge mistake today, and it must now reckon with the dangerous precedent the majority has created. Pasaway, walang modo, rascal.
Madam Speaker, distinguished members of this august chamber, ladies and gentlemen, I rise today on behalf of the Committee on Ethics and Privileges to sponsor Committee Report number 298 on the consolidated cases involving Committee Case number 6 and Committee Case number 7. The dignity, integrity, and reputation of the House of Representatives must be safeguarded at all times. Legislative discipline is exercised not merely to punish, but to preserve the honor of this institution and to protect the public trust. While we welcome the dynamism and energy of our younger members, this innovation must never cross into disorderly behavior that breaches parliamentary decorum. To provide a brief background on these consolidated cases, on the 25th of December 2025, Representative Janet L. Garin filed a petition against Representative Francisco Kiko A. Barzaga for disorderly behavior, violations of the House rules, and Republic Act number 6713, which is Committee Case number 6. On the 29th of September 2025, Representative Barzaga filed a reciprocal sworn complaint against Representative Garin for conduct unbecoming of a member, which is Committee Case number 7. On the 19th of November 2025, the committee formally consolidated both cases to ensure a unified and orderly review. On February 3, 2026, the committee dismissed Committee Case number 7 due to the clear non-interest of Representative Barzaga to pursue his complaint against Representative Garin. The committee considered the absence of Representative Barzaga at the formal hearing despite prior notice as lack of interest in pursuing his case against Representative Garin. It declared Representative Barzaga in default and to have waived his right to a hearing. On a duly seconded motion, there being no objection, the committee unanimously dismissed the Barzaga complaint. Consequently, the committee proceeded to a formal hearing on the merits of the remaining petition against Representative Barzaga. The formal investigation revealed substantial evidence that Representative Barzaga engaged in a pattern of highly disruptive, discourteous, and disorderly behavior that directly obstructed plenary sessions and desecrated parliamentary solemnity. The established infractions include, number 1, disruptive physical demeanor, repeatedly interrupting actual plenary sessions by walking around aimlessly, engaging in loud outbursts, and distracting members during crucial legislative tasks. Number 2, mockery of the leadership. On the 17th of September 2025, the respondent posted a video on his official Facebook page superimposing animated crocodiles over the former House Speaker and the Majority Leader during an official speech, pairing it with a mocking comedic tune to humiliate the leadership. Number 3, unauthorized and slanderous live broadcasts. On the 23rd and 24th of September 2025, at the height of the critical 2026 national budget deliberations, the respondent conducted unauthorized Facebook live broadcasts from the plenary floor, he used these live streams to record colleagues without consent, mock the proceedings, and make serious unparliamentary actuations live on camera. Madam Speaker, Section 4A(b) of Republic Act 6713 explicitly commands all public officials to observe professionalism as a core standard of personal conduct. The actions of the respondent fell dangerously short of this standard. His conduct undermined the collective duty of this august body to legislate with dignity and decorum. After an exhaustive, fair, and objective evaluation of the case, the committee finds respondent Representative Francisco Kiko A. Barsaga of the 4th District of Cavite to have committed disorderly behavior and demonstrated conduct unbecoming of a member of the House of Representatives by violating Section 141A and B, Rule 20 of the House Rules, and Section 4AB of Republic Act 6713, with the representative having meted with 60-day suspensions in 2 instances. The committee considers that another penalty of suspension will not likely deter the improper behavior which continuously reflects negatively on the image of the House of Representatives. Therefore, the committee approves to recommend the imposition of the most severe penalty of expulsion from office upon Representative Kiko Barsaga, pursuant to Section 16, Paragraph 3, Article 6 of the Constitution, Section 142, Rule 20 of the Rules of the House of Representatives, and Section 52B5, Rule 9 of the Committee Rules. Madam Speaker, let this report serve as a firm reminder that while opinions may differ and expressions may vary, the sanctity of the legislative process and respect for the Filipino people we represent must remain absolute. I urge my distinguished colleagues to approve this committee report. Maraming salamat po, Madam Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Sino ba ang tunay na baliw? Yung bang isinilang sa pag-iisip ay kapos? O husto ang isip, ngunit sakim naman na lubos? Ang mga social media posts and speeches ni Kong Kiko Barsaga na bumabatikos sa pamahalaan sa Administrasyong Marcos at iba pang opisyal ng pamahalaan kabilang na ang Kamara at Senado, gaano man ka-provocative o ka-harsh, ito ay hindi sapat na dahilan upang pagkaitan natin ng kinatawan ang daan-daang libong mamamayan ng Dasmariñas, Cavite. The House has already imposed suspensions for the same conduct. An expulsion based on substantially identical acts are excessive and disproportionate. My concern is whether expulsion would be perceived as punishment for dissent rather than on genuine disorderly behavior. A court would likely be reluctant to interfere with the House's internal disciplinary powers. However, from a constitutional law perspective, expelling a representative for criticism, harsh language, and controversial social media posts would be difficult to defend as a proportionate exercise of the expulsion power. Si Kiko Barsaga ay hindi nagnakaw sa kaban ng bayan. Si Kiko Barsaga ay walang conflict of interest di tulad ng mga contractors na iniiwasang imbestigahan ng Kamara. Si Kiko Barsaga ay hindi nagpasok ng mga kahina-hinalang alokasyon sa national budget. Si Kiko Barsaga ay dumadalo sa sesyon di tulad ng mga maraming kinatawan, hindi mo nakikita sa plenaryo, pero laging present sa attendance record ng Kamara. This is simply a tyranny of the supermajority to please those in power that were offended by Representative Kiko Barsaga. Ito ay pagpapatahimik sa mga hindi sumasang-ayon. Minsan, dumalo ako sa burol ng aking kamag-anak ng aking high school classmate. Pinakilala ko sa mga naroroon. Si Egay po, kaklase ko, congressman ng Caloocan. Hindi po buhaya yan. Matino yan. Napaisip ako. Nasabi ni Kiko Barsaga sa kanyang FB post, "This house is a crocodile farm." This is not just himself speaking. Actually, it is a reflection of what the people think and view us.
Honorable Erice, have another minute.
Sa South Lounge, sa Huntahan, hindi naman kinakaila, marami. Uusap-usap tayo. Ina-admit natin, hindi maganda ang tingin sa atin ng mamamayan after the flood control anomaly. Hindi kasalanan ni Kiko Barsaga kung buwaya at korap ang tingin ng maraming Pilipino sa atin. Hindi kasalanan ni Kiko kung mababa ang tingin sa Kongreso. Tayong lahat ay may pananagutan dito. Sa imaing ito, maraming aligasyon ng korupsyon. Yung ombudsman mismo ang nagsasabi, there are a lot of contractors dito sa Kamara, pero bakit hindi natin ito iniimbestigahan? Conflict of interest, anomalous budget and infrastructure, pork barrel, patronage politics using government funds, bundat ng mga political dynasties. Ngunit sa halip na linisin natin ang ating hanay at magbago sa ating mga gawi, pinili nating magalit, mainsulto at parusahan ng mga nagsasalita. Galit tayo, nasasaktan tayo sapagkat may kasabihan. Truth hurts! Kailangan pag-isipan natin itong mabuti. Bilog ang mundo. Papanalangin ko na huwag dumating na tayo ang magiging biktima ng kapangyarihan na ginagamit upang apihin ang malayang pagpapahayag. Ayon sa awit ni Alicia Keys, na ang title ay Karma. Karma. What goes around, comes around. What goes up, must come down. Mga ate, kuya, tatay, nanay, lolo o lola ni Kiko dito sa Kamara. Ang bata, kung nagkakamali, alam ko, hindi gaanong normal yung mga gawi ni Kiko dito sa Kamara. Pero minsan, yung bata, nakakatuwa. Pero yung mga matatanda na ayaw magbago, dapat, paalalahanin natin, dapat habang tumatanda tayo din sa Kamara, tumitino rin tayo. Salamat po.
Madam Speaker, distinguished Majority Leader, esteemed colleagues, and our sponsor, isang mabiyayang gabi po sa inyong lahat. I have said this before and I will say it again. You cannot enhance the image of the House by silencing your critics. What the House needs is genuine institutional reform. Akala nyo ba ay mapapatahimik nyo si Kong Barsaga sa pagpuna sa katiwalaan ng gobyerno kung siya ay tatanggalin ninyo bilang kinatawan ng Dasmariñas City? Alam nyo naman na hindi. Wala na bang malayang pagpapahayag ng damdamin ngayon? Hindi na pwedeng sumulungat o bumatikos sa administrasyon at kung meron man pumupuna sa kasalukuyang liderato ay kakasuhan ninyo, tatanggalin sa pwesto o ipakukulong. Saan ba nagugat ang lahat ng kasong ito? Dahil ba sa isang reels na ginawa ni Kong Miao Barsaga habang suspendido ang sesyon? O dahil tinawag niyang crocodile farm ang House of Representatives? Marami ba ang nasasaktan sa pahayag na ito? Ano ba ang matalinhagang kahulugan ng buwaya o crocodile sa kontekstong pampolitika? Matakaw, ganid sa pera at kapangyarihan, makasarili at inuuna ang sariling kapakanan bago ang kanyang nasasakupan. Hindi naman lahat ng House members ay maituturing na buwaya. Meron pa din naman matitino. When I see Kong Nonoy Defensor, I don't picture him as a buwaya. When I see Kong Gintu, Kong San Shimura, or Kong Sid Ungab, I don't regard them as crocodiles. Kapag narinig mo ang salitang buwaya at affected ka, malamang sa malamang, isa ka ngang buwaya. So I humbly appeal to my colleagues, kung ikaw ay hindi buwaya at si tingin mo ay hindi ka buwaya, I urge you to vote no on the expulsion of Kong Miao Kiko Barsaga. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I stand before this august body today, flooded by memories. It would be difficult for me not to become emotional about the matter, but I was taught I was taught to rise beyond emotions and remain as objective as I can be. Let me state that I looked up to Kong PD Barzaga. My late father, Congressman Romeo Acop, also looked up to him. I would watch them both during committee hearings and ask my father about him. He only had kind words for Kong PD. This institution lost a pillar when Kong PD left us. I stand now less for personal reasons, but more as a representative of the district who elected me into office. The very same people who have elected my parents to the same before me. I stand at this precise moment not just as a member of my family, but also as a member of the House of Representatives. I stand now echoing one of the most stated lines of my father, that with authority comes accountability. When my father died in December, our family faced both sympathy and criticism, some coming from a member of this very institution who falsely claimed that my father has left a legacy of greed and corruption, that he was hated by the very people he swore to serve, and that his death was rejoiced, and that his demise would serve as a lesson to all other congressmen. I remained silent amidst these scathing statements, praying that it would simply die down, not because it was true, but because I knew the truth. In laying our father to rest, I opted to thank those who criticized and even celebrated in his passing, stating that such would fuel our family to live and lead according to how our parents raised us. Today, with great conviction, I state to Kong Kiko Barzaga that your legacy of ineptitude, irresponsibility, and disrespect would indeed serve as a lesson to the entire Filipino people and to your colleagues in the House of Representatives that we deserve competent leaders. The House of Representatives is not a playground where whims trump the work that we are tasked to do. The mandate of a people must never be taken for granted, much more taken less that it be sacrificed for a few seconds in the spotlight. This institution must never tolerate ineptitude, irresponsibility, and disrespect. In the end, we must hold ourselves to the highest of standards if we are to become true representatives of the people, a legacy we must all aspire to leave behind. Thank you.
The report recommends the gravest sanction within our power, expulsion. So I ask this chamber to pause and ask the only constitutional question that matters, not whether his conduct offended us, much of it did, not whether he was discourteous or reckless. He may well have been. The question is whether expulsion is commensurate with what he actually did. Madam Speaker, this House did not look far for the standard it has already set within its own hands. In 2024, in the 19th Congress, former Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez faced the gravest species of legislative misconduct imaginable short of treason, publicly urging the armed forces and the Philippine National Police to withdraw their support from the Commander-in-Chief, a conduct the Department of Justice was investigating as inciting to sedition. The Committee on Ethics, by unanimous vote, recommended a 60-day suspension. And yet, this plenary deliberately downgraded that penalty to mere censure, a formal reprimand on the express finding that suspension was disproportionate to the nature and context of his misconduct, the statements being emotional expressions rather than intentional calls for harm. In that act, my colleagues, this House articulated upon its own record a binding principle that the penalty must be proportioned to the true gravity and context of the offense. Measured against that benchmark, the sanction now before us is starkly inverted. Our colleagues' offense consisted of incendiary and defamatory posts, conduct unbecoming, speech-based misconduct that, however distasteful, falls well below the incitement of the military to abandon their commander-in-chief. Yet for that lesser conduct, he was made to suffer not censure, but a 60-day suspension without pay, followed by a second consecutive 60-day suspension. If quasi-seditious appeals to the armed forces earned only a public reprimand, then stack suspensions for objectionable online posts cannot be reconciled with any coherent standard of proportionate discipline. They invent the very proportion of this House, they invert the very proportion of this House professed in Alvarez, and they approach the de facto disenfranchisement of an entire district for what it remains, at bottom, protective if intemperate speech. I do not rise to defend his manners. I rise to question our measure. A penalty must answer to the offense, and this one does not. It overreaches the speech it would punish. It overrides the voters who chose him. It overshoots every principle of proportion our Constitution was raised to protect. So let us discipline if discipline is due. But let us not expel, for to expel here is not to uphold the dignity of this House. It would diminish it. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Committee report pursuant to a unique constitutional power that was given to Congress, which is the power to discipline our own ranks. This is not an ordinary piece of legislation. It is actually a quasi-judicial proceeding. That being said, Madam Speaker, I would like to hear what would the queries of the Honorable Chanco be.
First of all, Madam Speaker, precisely that is the point. This is not an ordinary legislation. Hindi nga kami, kung hindi kami membro ng Committee on Ethics, hindi nga kami pwede magtanong doon. So kung hindi pa rin kami pwede magtanong dito sa plenaryo, ibig sabihin, hindi na sasagutin ng sponsor yung dahilan kung bakit kailangan isuspindi. Dapat hindi pa pwedeng manifestation lang to. Dapat sagutin nila at patunayan nakatumbas ng pagkakasala ni Kong Kiko yung ipapataw nila na parusa. Madam Speaker, kung ang ordinaryong batas ginagawa natin, pinapayagan natin tanungin doon sa period of sponsorship. Ito ay period of sponsorship, so bakit hindi pa pwedeng tanungin? Hindi nga kami nakapagtanong doon sa Committee on Ethics dahil hindi kami membro.
Madam Speaker, and with the indulgence of Representative Toby Tiangco, nakalagay po mismo sa committee rules ng Committee on Ethics na maski ang non-member, maaari niyang malaman at maaari rin siyang makilahok as long as merong written request na ibinigay sa amin. As a matter of fact, Madam Speaker, there was even an instance wherein independent members of this Congress were able to join the deliberations of the Committee on Ethics even without the consent. I would like to express, Madam Speaker, my willingness to answer some questions from Representative Toby Chanco. Pero tulad nga na sabi ko kanina, isa po itong quasi-judicial proceeding. Nakalagay po mismo sa rules ng Committee on Ethics and Privileges na suppletory po ang rules of court. Parang husgado po, parang hukuman po ang naging ginampanan na role ng Committee on Ethics. Kaya po kami merong deliberation ngayon na binabasa at sinusponsoran sa floor. Kaya po tayo nagkakaroon ng pagkakataon na makapag-manifest ang ating mga miyembro para mag-guide po tayo kung paano po tayo boboto. At sa pagkakataong ito, nais ko pong malaman kung ano po ang katanungan ni Representative Chanco dahil hindi ko naman po pinipigilan ang maski sinong miyembro na mag-raise ng question before the Committee on Ethics.
Madam Speaker, tama po, pwede nga po kami mag-attend ng Committee on Ethics, dumalo po ako, pero hindi kami pwede magtanong doon. Pwede lang kami mag-manifest. Ngayon, para wag na lang natin pagtalunan kung bakit gusto muna malaman yung tanong ko bago sagutin. Let us just rule on it. Pwede ba magtanong o hindi? Ayoko
Madam
naman
Speaker,
nung magtatanong ako.
I yield to questions from Representative Toby Chanco.
Okay, so number one po. Will the sponsor confirm that the committee report was just posted at 2:55 p.m. today and printed copies were just distributed maybe 10 minutes ago?
Madam Speaker, as a matter of fact, hindi lamang 10 minutes ago po. Kanina, naibigay po sa Committee on Rules ang committee report ng Committee on Ethics. And this matter was actually approved as early as April 28. Sa totoo lang po, Madam Speaker, ayon sa aming rules, all information pertaining to any disciplinary action against any member of the House is considered confidential. Pero kung meron po tayong miyembro dito na gustong malaman ang mga nangyayaring proceeding, malaya naman po sila na lumapit sa Committee on Ethics at magtanong. Another one po, Madam Speaker, kanina pa po na-distribute ito dahil kanina pa po ito inaprubahan ng Committee on Rules. Ang tagal po natin nag-suspend kanina, mahigit 2 oras po ata tayo nag-suspend, and I believe that is enough time for us to deliberate on this matter. As a matter of fact, Madam Speaker, I would like to even express my willingness to read the committee report in full. If that would be the request of Representative Toby Chanco, willing po akong basahin ang buong committee report ngayon.
Hindi, ang tanong ko lang po, Madam Speaker, kung kinukumpirma na 2:55 lang po unang nakita yung committee report dahil yan po ang oras ng pagka-post doon sa Viber group natin. Yun lang po ang tanong.
Madam Speaker, 3 oras na po ang nakalipas mula nung ipinost sa Viber group.
Kaya
Hindi
nga,
naman
di
po
2:55,
ganun kahaba.
di kinukonfirm
Hindi naman
lang
po
po.
ganun kahaba ang committee report para basahin. That being said, Madam Speaker, valid naman po ang katanungan at ang concern ni Representative Toby Chanco, and his manifestation would be noted and it would be considered by all of our members as we vote on this committee report.
Okay, pangalawa po, si Kong Kiko Barsaga po ba ang nakasira ng dignidad, integridad, at reputasyon ng House of Representatives? Yung pa bang sinasabi niya ang nakasira? Ibig sabihin, kahit tawagin niyang House of Crocodiles to, kung hindi naman sira yung integridad ng House, yung bang sinasabi niya ang nakasira o may mga ibang bagay na nakasira?
Para sa akin po, Madam Speaker, napakahalaga na kung titingnan natin ang ating committee report, merong specific complainant, merong specific respondent, at merong specific causes of action that are complained of. I mentioned this, Madam Speaker, in my sponsorship speech. Una, disruptive physical demeanor, repeatedly interrupting actual plenary sessions, engaging in loud outbursts, distracting members. 2, mockery of leadership, yung pag-superimpose ng animated crocodiles over members, unauthorized and slanderous live broadcast. Kung tututukan ko po ng telepono sa harapan ng mukha mo, ito po ay pinadiringgan po namin sa Committee on Ethics, at ito po ang naging pasya ng aming mga miyembro na patawan po ng expulsion ang ating respondent. It should also be noted, Madam Speaker, that it doesn't happen very often in this August chamber na meron tayong miyembro na haharap sa multiple ethics complaint. Pagkatapos po masuspende ng ating respondent on 2 occasions, may kolatilya po ang committee report. Nakalagay po dyan, repetition of a similar misconduct will result to a more severe penalty. At ito po ang naging ruling ng Committee on Ethics and Privileges, and I appreciate the query of Representative Toby Chanco tsaka lahat po na ng manifest. Napakahalaga po nito na mapakinggan po natin ang bawat miyembro para mag-guide po tayo kapag papagbotohan po natin ang committee report na ito. Maraming salamat po.
Yes, Madam Speaker. Agree naman po ako na may mga pagkakamali si Kong Kiko Barsaga. And even he will attest that pag nagkakamali siya, pinagsasabihan ko siya. Isang example po noon doon sa nangyari kay Kong Akop na naparusahan na po natin siya noon. The 60-day suspension meted out last time was because of what he uttered against the late Kong Akop. And I explained in my vote that time, and I even told him, Kiko, dapat hindi mo ginawa yan. Kasi sa atin, sa Pilipinas, masyado ang paggalang natin para sa yung mga no? So hindi ko sinasabing wala siyang kasalanan. May mga kasalanan siya. Dapat may parusa rin sa kanya. Ang tanong lang is yung bang mga kasalanan niya na nagawa, ang tamang parusa doon o katumbas ba doon ay expulsion. Di ba? The penalty should be commensurate to the offense. So yun lang, pakipaliwanag lang kung bakit doon sa mga nasabi niyong mga kasalanan niya, dapat siyang tanggalin bilang congressman at yung mga bumoto sa kanya ay mawala yung binoto nila. Yun lang po ang aking gustong malaman. Hindi ko po sinasabi na wala po siyang kasalanan. May kasalanan po siya. Dapat may parusa din po. Pero tama bang parusa yung tanggalan siya ng posisyon o tanggalin siya sa pagiging congressman dahil dun sa mga nagawa niya?
Madam Speaker, uulitin ko lamang po ang bahagi ng aking sponsorship speech kanina. With the representative having meted with 60-day suspensions in 2 instances, the committee considers that another penalty of suspension will not likely deter the improper behavior which continuously reflects negatively on the image of the House of Representatives. para sa kaalaman po ng ating mga miyembro, the Committee on Ethics was put in a really tough predicament because we faced multiple complaints with different causes of action pertaining to the same respondent. At the same time, maaaring magkaroon pa po ng influx of cases against the same respondent from different complainants and for different causes of action. Kaya sana po nauunawaan ng ating kasamahan sa Kongreso na hindi po simple ang trabaho ng Committee on Ethics and Privilege. We actually afforded maximum tolerance to our respondent dahil may mga okasyon pa nga po na the same day, hindi po makakadalo sa hearing, magre-reschedule kami para lang makinggan ang kanyang panig. Binigyan po namin ng pagkakataon ang ating respondent na dumalo at magpakita sa ating committee. And I share the view of Representative Janco, mahirap po ang rekomendasyon na inirekomenda ng Committee on Ethics, but I hope all of the manifestations that were given on the floor would guide all of us when we vote on this matter. Maraming salamat po.
Yes, maraming salamat po, dear sponsor. Panghuli na po, Madam Speaker. No? Alam niyo po, ito lang po ang pakiusap ko sa ating mga kasamahan dito. Ako po kasi naranasan ko na dito yung ilang beses maging independent. No? Ngayon lang ako naging parte ng majority. Yung ating kapangyarihan bilang mayorya ay ingatan po natin, gamitin natin ng maayos. Kasi baka dumating yung panahon, tayo naman ang mapunta sa pagiging independent, tayo mapunta sa minority. Doon pa lang natin mararanasan, no? At kahit tayo ay part ng majority, gusto rin naman natin tayo ay may boses, hindi pinipigilan yung ating salita. Pag tayo ay mabilis magdesisyon dito at tayo ay nagkaroon ng president na masyadong mahigpit ang parusa, pwede na tayong takutin dito na huwag na lang tayo magsalita dahil pwede tayong parusahan at doon na mawawala ang integrity ng House ng Representatives na ito kung ano pa po ang natitira dito. Yun lang po, Madam Speaker, maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat po, distinguished colleague. The Committee on Ethics would like to assure the entire body that our right to the freedom of expression will always be respected and it will always be upheld. And I would assure everyone that the Committee on Ethics will be impartial and judicial at all times. Maraming salamat, distinguished colleague.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, distinguished colleagues. The question before us is not whether we approve of the sentiments expressed in his online post. The question is whether the Constitution protects it and whether the extraordinary penalty of expulsion is justified. Article 3, Section 4 of the Constitution could not be more emphatic. No law shall be passed abridging the freedom of speech, of expression, and of the press. The Supreme Court has consistently held that political speech and expression occupies the highest rung of constitutional protection. Such protection extends not only to speech that is agreeable, but also to speech that is controversial, provocative, offensive, and even inflammatory. The Constitution that does not merely protect speech that comforts. It also protects speech that disturbs. Totoo, may mga pahayag na hindi nakaabot sa antas ng decorum na inaasahan natin sa kapulungan ito. Ngunit ang kakulangan ng decorum ay sapat na bang basihan para i-expel si Congressman Barzaga? Has by the record, and Congressman Barzaga has by the record already been twice suspended for substantially similar social media posts. The disciplinary power of this institution has already been invoked and imposed. The House has exercised its disciplinary prerogative. The present recommendation to escalate from suspension to expulsion absent a demonstrably graver and distinct transgression invites the question, what constitutional threshold has now been crossed to warrant the severest sanction? Kung ang parehong uri ng pananalita ay dati ng pinatawan ng suspensyon, anong bagong batayan ang magtutulak sa atin ngayon sa expulsion naman? What is now being proposed is not another measure of correction, but the most severe available sanction to this chamber. And this brings us to the principle even more fundamental than the rights of the member, the right of the people. A congressman is not appointed by this House. He is elected by the sovereign will of his constituents. The authority he carries is not ours to bestow, and therefore it should not be ours to withdraw lightly. Kapag tayo ay nag-expel ng isang miyembro, hindi lamang isang tao ang ating pinarurusahan. Ang tunay na nawawalan ay ang mga mamamayan naghalal sa kanya upang maging kanilang tinig sa Kongreso. We remove not merely a seat, we remove a representation. We diminish not merely an individual mandate, we diminish the electoral choice of thousands of citizens who entrusted him with that mandate. We silence not merely a member, we silence a district. For that reason, expulsion must remain a remedy of last resort, reserved for the conduct fundamentally that destroys the integrity of the institution itself. Expulsion is a constitutional event with direct implications on democratic representation. It must be reserved for circumstances where the members' continued presence so fundamentally impairs the integrity of the institution that no lesser remedy suffices. Ano bang ikinabawas ng Kongreso sa mga sinabi ni Kong Barsaga? Has his continued presence so fundamentally impaired the integrity, legitimacy, or functioning of the House that no lesser remedy is sufficient? Did the institution suffer a permanent injury that cannot be corrected by censure, reprimand, suspension, or public accountability? More importantly, this House must recognize that the individual who felt aggrieved by his statements have not been left without recourse. In fact, they have already availed themselves of remedies provided by law. Multiple cyber libel complaints have already been filed against Kiko Barsaga. Kung naniniwala ang mga nagrereklamo na ang kanyang mga pahayag ay lumampas sa hangganan protektado ng pananalita at naging kriminal na, meron ng umiiral na proseso upang ang mga ito ay mapatunayan. Ang prosesong iyon ay hindi nagaganap sa bulwagang ito kung hindi sa hukuman.
Honorable Bong Suntay, please wrap up.
The courts possess the competence, the procedural safeguards, and the constitutional mandate to determine whether a statement constitutes protected speech or actionable defamation. They can receive evidence, assess intent, determine liability, and impose the penalties prescribed by law. If the statements are indeed unlawful, the courts will say so. If they are protected by the Constitution, the courts will likewise say so. May nasaktan, may nagalit, may nagreklamo, ngunit ang pagkagalit o pagkainsulto, gaano man katotoo, ay hindi pakatumbas ng pagkasira ng institusyon. The Constitution demands a higher threshold before the elected representative of an entire district is removed from office. The true test of commitment to freedom is not whether we protect the voices we agree with. It is when we protect the voices we disagree with. And the true test of commitment to this representative government is whether we respect the electoral choices of the people, even if when those choices are comfortable. Ipagpauman ninyo po if I appear to be sympathetic to the plight of Congressman Barsaga. Minsan rin po akong nakaranas dumaan sa Ethics Committee at nanganib na masuspinde dahil sa isang analogy na aking hinayag during a committee deliberation. Nagpapasalamat ako sa ating mga kasamahan na tumayo upang ako ay hindi mapatawan ng parusang suspensyon. At gaya ng pagtayo nila para maprotektahan ng aking karapatang magsalita, ako ngayon ay tumatayo upang ipaglaban rin ang karapatan ng isa nating kasamahan dito sa Kamara. Hindi lamang para magsalita, ngunit para may pagpatuloy magsilbing boses ng kanyang distrito. Kagaya ng sinulat ni Evelyn Beatrice Hall, I may not agree with what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Majority Leader.